Marcela. Parenting with understanding methodology to correct any behavior of any child with ease. Even if my child is autistic, yes. Even if my child is ADHD, yes. Even if my child comes from a traumatic background and I'm not the parent, yes. Even if everything, even if, yes, because it has been proven by so many families in HIC parenting from many different backgrounds and diagnoses as well. So let's go to the next slide. Many divergences, mom, who didn't know until adult with a 4-year-old. Okay. Are you autistic? So this is the structure of this class, and we're going to go step by step. Part number 1 is the teaching portion, the use process to correct any behavior with ease. Part number 2 is next steps if you need help on the application of the use process. If you stay to the end, I'm going to show you in a little bit how you can book a free one-on-one session with one of us in HIC parenting. For the people who want help on the application of this process, who want to fast track their progress and raise their secure children and break away from reactivity faster. And part 3 is Q&A. We still have time, depending on how we go with the time. Okay, so let's go to the other one. I'm gonna be drinking a lot of water because the disclaimer here is that this is a class. A class is, take it as good information. This is not a coaching session, even though I'm a coach. I'm not in my coaching hat right now. I'm in my teacher hat. This is not therapy. Plus, I'm not a therapist. I was a therapeutic provider, but I'm not a therapist, which is different. And this is not mental health or behavioral health advice. Take it as a class with great information, and then that's it. Otro, por favor. So this class is if you are a parent who is committed to raising children away from harmful practices. I'm very curious for all of you, all 46 of you, what are those harmful practices that you want to move away from? Can you let me know in the chat? It's for that parent yelling. Okay, Brianna, thank you for your vulnerability. Yelling reactivity, Katie, Olivia yelling. Okay. So that class is for you. For a parent who wants to raise secure children, but at the same time, want them to learn positive behavior and want them to be kind, respectful individuals. If that is you, raise your hand. This class is for you. Reacting and lecturing. I see, Ari. Otro, porfa. These three principles that you're going to learn today have allowed me to teach my neurodivergent son and his strong-willed twin positive behavior in a way they follow without resorting to bribes, threats, yelling, or any other tactic that goes against my values. Just imagine you having a framework that you can customize for your children, for you, to teach positive behavior in a way that goes with your values. How would that feel? How would that feel, guys? So that's basically the promise of this class. I'm not going to hold anything back. I'm going to teach you everything I know about correcting any behavior with ease. And now, with our coaching clients, we help them on the application, on the integration of these processes in their own families, and much more, depending on their needs. Otro, porfa. You have twins, Stephanie? Oh, I love twin parents. Any other twin parent here? Say me. Or if you're almost twin parent, meaning if they're very close in age, let me know. So, what are these three skills to raise secure children? These are the three skills of a secure parent. And is I call it the USA process. I'm going to give you the overview of what these skills are. This is a great time, guys, for you to take a screenshot because this is basically the breakdown of the whole class. And what we're going to do for the rest of the class is to go deep on each one of these skills. So take a screenshot, post it on your stories, tag me at High Impact Club, and say, hey, I'm in this free, amazing free class. I hope you can join us and invite your friends. Well, I don't know if you can do all that, but at least take a screenshot. Number one, the skill of mindsight. Once you gain this skill of mindsight, you will understand, and as you element, understand all needs beneath behaviors. When this happen, you will prevent most power struggles because you know exactly what your children need to feel ease and to collaborate with you. Imagine you understand exactly what your child needs to collaborate with you. How would that, what would that do for your family? What would that do? Number two, S element, and that's the skill of emotional regulation. That's the second skill of a secure parent. And it's basically learning to settle down big emotions, our big emotions and our children's big emotions. You will calm down little storms and prevent aggression and most meltdowns. Imagine you are able to keep things small, that things don't have to be this chaos all the time. What is one thing that you can start doing if things are not chaotic all the time? Maybe sleeping on time, maybe going to sleep on time. That was one thing that I started doing once my house was not in chaos anymore. And number three, the skill of positive discipline, which is equipping children with the skills to have positive behavior. With this skill, once you master this skill, you will go from putting out fires to correcting behaviors long term. And the skill of mindsight, the skill of emotional regulations, the emotional regulation skills, and the skill of positive discipline, those are the three skills that we develop in our coaching clients. And those are the skills that have allowed 14,151 clients go from chaos, overwhelm, frustration to allow more peace and to raise children who are secure and responsible. So let's talk about each one of these skills. Katie, going to bed and waking on a consistent schedule. Wow, that would have been that's gonna be a huge game changer once you gain these skills, Katie. That's amazing. Yes, that's one thing that you can start doing once you master these skills. Otro, porfis. But before we start, I want to introduce myself, my team. I know that when it comes to these classes, many of you, or maybe some of you, are new to us. You just started following us this week. You're wondering what is she about? Like, who is she to talk to me about parenting? Is that you? Are you new to us? If you are new, say yes, I'm new. I want to know who is new to us. Who has started following us not long ago? You're new, Elizabeth? Okay. Welcome to HIC Parenting. You've been following me for a couple of months. New here, yes. If you're an OG, if you've been following us for more than 6 months, 6 months or more, say me, OG. So for the newbies, my name is Marcela Collier. I'm a certified parenting coach, and I am the head coach of an amazing coaching agency called HIC Parenting Education Agency. We are a team of professionals. All of us are certified parenting coaches plus behavioral health professionals. I'm a therapeutic care provider. I have 10 years of experience working with children with high behavioral needs, ASD, ADHD, OCDs, PTSD, all those diagnoses. And our team of coaches, they're all certified parenting coaches. And on top of that, some of them are psychologists, other ones are child development experts. They have degrees in on this field. And we've been an agency since 2020, and we have served 14,151 parents through our coaching services and products, bring peace to their parenting, and raise emotionally healthy children with peace. So by now, it's not 4 years, it's been 5 years. We need to update that. 5 years of existence. So that's who we are as a team. When you enter HIC parenting, you don't hire me. You don't hire a specific coach, you hire a team. So if you do become a coaching client, and I know that there are some of you here, you are hiring us, you are hiring HIC parenting team. And I'm part of it. So for the ones who are asking, do I get Marcela? Yes, you do get me as well. Otro, por favor. And these are just a very small version of all the stories that come to us from our clients, telling us going that they go from overwhelm and chaos to parenting with peace. Most of them neurodivergent families, like Valerie. Her son is autistic, and he used to run under the bed every single morning. It was a struggle. And she went from yelling to connecting to his needs through the processes that you're going to learn today. And she says here in this testimonial that even his teachers and therapists say that he looks like a different kid. And all she did was to apply and integrate with our coaching help in HIC parenting the processes that you're going to learn today. Or for example, Lucy below, when she came to HIC parenting, her child was 5 years old. He was kicked out of 3 daycares because of aggression towards peers, towards teachers. And with our coaching help, and as she integrated these processes that you're going to learn today, now her son is able to communicate to her when he needs quiet time instead of being aggressive, and he can hold up being in a daycare. And she's happy. Or Nicole, who brought her husband on board, who was not even into gentle parenting. Once he saw that the kids were cooperating with her a lot easier than what he was doing, than the yelling, than the bribes. And like her, many other parents in HIC parenting, if I were to talk about each one of our clients, we will be here the whole day. Otro, por favor. Okay, so listen to this. Open the eyes very wide, because this is a gift that I have for all of you who are live with me today. If you are watching the replay, I'm sorry, you cannot claim it. Or if you are leaving early, I'm sorry, you won't be able to claim it. This is for all the parents who are going to stay with me here to the end of the class. And what is this? This is our bestseller, Coping Strategies Guide, to teach kids different strategies to manage their emotions without aggression. So this class is to correct behaviors. That this Coping Strategies Guide is more about emotional coping strategies tools, emotional regulation, part of emotional regulation skill, emotional regulation tools for kids. You can either get it for $57 on our website, or you can stay to the end, and I will tell you at the end how you can claim this gift. For free, of course, it's a gift. It's free. Otro, por favor. You're welcome, Jasmine. Okay, so now that we are clear about who we are and the ground rules and etc., let's start. Let's start with this class. Understanding the need beneath all behaviors, which is the skill of mindsight. The skill of mindsight. What is the skill of mindsight? Is being able to see into our children's minds and hearts, knowing what's in their internal landscape. Because once we know what's in their internal landscape, we can communicate with them a lot easier and faster and more effective. And we will gain their cooperation a lot easier, faster, and more effective. So let's break this down. Otro, por favor. What do we usually do? What did I do back in the day when I lacked mind-size skills? Let me know if you've been in this hamster wheel. You see a behavior, you go to social media, you get a general cookie cutter script, you try to apply it in your nuanced child with unique needs, and it doesn't work. Or sometimes it's a hit or miss. Is that you? And then you hear things in social media. Instead of saying this, say this. Let me know if you've heard any of these expressions. It's okay to be angry, but it's not okay to hit. Gentle hands. I won't let you hit your sister. Okay, let's take a deep breath. Look at these choices. Choose from these and from these. What do your children do with your choices? Do they take their deep breaths? If you say, I won't let you hit, do they stop hitting? When you say gentle hands, do they use their gentle hands? And if you say it's okay to be angry, but it's not okay to hit, would that work? Most parenting social media doesn't work for ADHD kids. True. Or ASD kids, true, or neurotypical kids, true, because every kid has a different set of needs, even if they're not neurodivergent. So cookie cutter general scripts don't work. If you expect me to give you cookie cutter scripts and tips and hacks on this class is not for you. This class is for you if you want to have a framework that you can apply to your child to understand them. And from the understanding of them, you would know what to do. Otro porfis. And then you apply these scripts, and then you had this expectation. That was me. When you go to Pinterest and you see the perfect cupcake, and then this is your reality. And then you start questioning, is it me? Is it that I'm a permissive parent, as my mother-in-law is saying? Is it that my child is just too of a strong will? Is it because my autistic son cannot behave well? Have you asked yourself all those questions and you kind of blame yourself, or yeah, you blame yourself a lot? Is that you? Well, I have news for you. If you, Ari, I have news for you. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. This is what's happening. Otro porfis. City is not your fault. Hacks is not your fault. Otro porfis. I already addressed this. It's because, not because you're doing something wrong or you're a bad parent or they're just an unicorn kid. It's because cookie cutter advice is like trying to fit a square peg on a round hole of our kid. Like our kid is the round hole that they're unique, all of them. Every single behavior, according to science, communicates a need. Every single one. If you want to correct any behavior with ease, get rid of scripts and cookie cutter tips and get an understanding of your child's needs. That's mindsight. Have you ever been hangry, borderline hangry? Have you ever been? And then you are cooking lunch for your kids and it's kind of getting late. Is there witchy hour? Have you ever been in their witchy hour? You know they're hungry and they're kind of like fighting with each other, and then you're trying to get dinner ready so you can serve everybody and you can eat and you can relax. And then your husband or your spouse, your husband or wife, your spouse comes in and they tell you about something random, something like not to not to the case, and you snap at them. You snap at your spouse. You snap at them. You're hungry. You snap at them, and then your spouse looks at you and say, "It's okay to be angry, but it's not okay to talk to me that way." How would you feel? What would you do if that happened to you? I would have gotten more angry. I would get more mad. Or like yesterday, somebody on my Instagram story said when my son is having a tantrum and he's yelling, I tell him you're not ready to talk. So what about if that would have been the answer from your husband? Oh, friend, you're not ready to talk yet. Fix your attitude first and then talk to me. What would you do? Would that help you? Okay, take a deep breath, calm down. Would that help you? No, you will get more attitude yourself, right? What could help you? If he saw your need and if he helped you get your need met, right? Honey, don't worry. I take care of the rest of the cooking. Serve yourself. Situate yourself on the table. I will take care of the kids. Would that help you? Would that help you with your hangriness? But we expect that for our children, we expect these things to work. When it comes to behaviors, the same way we communicate our needs through our behaviors, our children do. And many times it comes in a very unlovable ways. We yelling, we snapping. I'm talking about our kids. They yell, they snap, they tantrum, they hit, they throw. They're communicating their needs. And the younger they are, the more they communicate their needs through their bodies and not their words. Matter of fact, research shows that children 7 and under live in their limbic system, which is their emotional brain. So they don't use their logical brain to say, wait, mommy needs cooperation. She's had a long day. No, they don't use their brain like that. They're like, I'm hungry, so I'm going to punch my sister. Otro porfis. Federico, Federico, don't go crazy. That's the one I want. Okay. Every behavior, guys, parents, secure parents. I'm going to call you how I want you to see yourself. Secure parents. Every behavior is the communication of a need. But this is the thing, and let me explain to you mindsight. Lack of mindsight is as if you have your car is breaking down and the engine lights are going off and you just react to the engine lights. You're like, engine lights, go off, go off. That's what we're doing, right? Mindsight is opening the hood, looking inside, seeing the needs and fixing it or addressing it from the root. The scripts, they don't talk to your sister that way, they don't talk to me that way, you're gonna have a timeout, the consequence, all those things are superficial behavioral approaches. Parenting with understanding and what we do with our clients is that we make them experts on their children's needs. Our approach is needs-based, not behavioralist. It's not behavioralist, it's need based. So there are 5 needs, and this is another great slide for you to take a picture, that are communicated through behaviors. According to Dr. William Glasser, he is a renowned researcher in the topic of needs. What are these 5 basic needs? Is the need for survival, which is safety and physical needs. The need for belonging, which is connection and inclusion. The need for power, which is achievement, feeling skillful. The need for freedom, which is independence and control. And the need for fun, which is play, learning, entertainment. Let me give you a very quick example of how one behavior could communicate any of these needs. Bedtime stalling. Raise your hand if you have a bedtime staller in your house. Sometimes I do. I'm going to raise my 2 hands because I have 2 kids. So raise your hand. I see Jax taking notes. Jax, just take a picture of it. You don't have to take notes. Bedtime stalling. It could be the need for safety. Yeah. When we moved new in this house, they were stalling bedtime like crazy because they were nervous about sleeping in their new bedrooms. Can it be the need for belonging? Yes. If I've been working all day, ignoring them, sometimes I work all day and I ignore them most of the day. At bedtime, they want to get all their connection. That's why they stall. The need for power. Can bedtime stalling communicate that need? Well, when they were going through potty training, it was communicating that need. Because every 3 minutes, they were like, I need to go chi for us potty. I need to go chi every 3 minutes. They wanted to exercise that skill and feel empowered with that. The need for freedom, which is independence and control. At bedtime is a moment that we get very more controlling than the rest of the day. We get more like trying to control the situation so they go to bed on time. They feel control and they want to gain their freedom back through defiance. And it's shown through stalling. Or the need for fun. Let's just say they had a 3 hour nap today. They're not gonna be ready to go to sleep at 7, right? They're gonna stall because they have that need for learning and fun and play, and they just don't want to miss the fun. They're not tired enough. So do you see how one behavior, which is bedtime stalling, could communicate any of these needs? With our coaching clients, we make them skillful at understanding what's the need that communicate each behavior. When people come and tell me on DM, Marcela, my son stalled bedtime, or whatever behavior they're telling me, what do I do? I'm like, come on coaching and let's unveil what the need is. And from there, let's build a plan. I cannot tell you right now because I don't know what the need is. Is that clear? If no, if it is foggy, write foggy. If it is clear, say clear. And for the foggy ones, I'm gonna give you more examples. Otro porfis. So let me give you a longer example with my autistic son. Clear is hard, I think, to figure out the needs for toddlers. Yeah, I understand. And it's not the needs for toddlers, it's the needs for your particular toddler, which is different, you know? So, summer camp. Ay, ay, ay. That was a little nightmare. A little nightmare. So, they were in summer camp all week. I'm going to talk low because he's right there. He's like, Mommy, you're talking about me. So, it was summer camp all week. They had no problem going to summer camp. I need them to go to summer camp because I work. And on Friday, I said, okay, guys, get ready. We're going to summer camp. My neurotypical son got ready, no problem. My autistic son looked at me, smiled. I could tell he was looking at me and he understood and he heard the instruction, but he still did not listen. And I said it again, and I gave him the importance of going to summer camp, and he did not listen. I offered the choices. I told him that, let me help you pick your clothes. He did not listen. Okay, guys, what would you do if this happened to you? And summer camp is not an option. You gotta work again, gotta go to work. So, what would you guys do? Type it in the chat. Make the choice for him. I'll tell her why. I start getting him dressed. 9 years old. Like he's too old to for me to get him dressed. I'll explain. Possibly if I try to get him dressed and he doesn't want to, he's gonna not let me. Ask, okay. The reminder is time to go. I go in, they can go in their PJs. Oh, lay out the clothes and start getting dressed. I would ask him if he's scared. Okay, Ari. I like where Ari is going. Try again. Try to make it a game. Oh, those are great. Start getting close. I usually tell him again. Okay. So nothing was really working. And you know what? Usually, when I ask this question during this class, I notice the level of skill of the room I'm teaching to. And I can tell you guys are high level skill. You're skillful parents. You are educated parents. You've been in this for a little while. Just you're not just figuring it out, which is awesome. So what happens? Yelling, snapping, repeating the instruction and nanning, giving him choices, all those things would not meet the underlying need. Consequences would not meet the need. Tell him why it's important to go, that itself would not meet the need. So let's see what happened. Otro porfis. Depends on my mood. I would either get frustrated and yell or try to check on him and see if he feels sad about leaving. So remember that every behavior communicates a need. This is what I do to reveal the need. I look, number one, for a pattern or a disruption of a pattern. There was a disruption of a pattern here. He was fine going to summer camp all week. Something happened on Friday. Okay, good. Good information. I explored his feelings. I connected to a basic need. And then from there, we explore ways to meet the need. Take a screenshot. Don't write down stuff that you're going to lose. Kate, you're going to lose that paper. So that's the process that I follow. What was happening? Otro porfis. He's autistic and he gets sensory overwhelmed with noise, with movement, with sounds, with a lot of sensory activity or stimulation. That day was movie day. They were going to be in a main room. There was going to be a lot of noise, a lot of lights, movement. He doesn't even like going to the regular movies with us. I think in his lifetime he's gone once. He was anxious about going to the movie day. So let's go back to what parents do, which is reacting to the flashing lights and not to the underlying needs. Reacting to the flashing lights. We need to go. Let me get you dressed. Would that help? Reacting to the flashing lights. Let me give you more choices. Would that help? Reacting to the flashing lights, snapping, yelling, threatening with consequences. That doesn't only not help, but it will make the behavior worse. The anxiety would have increased and he would have ended up in a meltdown. And if I would have had the luck to get him to summer camp, I would have gotten a lot of reports from the coach and the teacher and the pastor, right? because it was a church camp. So it's not that your child just have so many meltdowns. It's not that children usually have, they just have so many meltdowns. They're so strong-willed that they never listen. They're so defiant. They're so aggressive. Most of the time, they are misunderstood children. Not because we want to misunderstand them, but because most parents don't have mind-size skills. That's something we're not born with. We have to develop it, right? He needed safety. So what happened? How did I went to the steps. What's different Friday? What's about Friday, movie day? What happens with movie day? I'm afraid of ABC all the night. Oh, okay. And then so you're feeling afraid. Let's connect it to a need. You need to feel safe. Let's plan for it. What could help you? Ah, there is a craft room next door. Okay. We went to summer camp. We asked the teacher if he could be in the craft room. When I picked him up, guys, you would not believe this. When I picked him up, the teacher said he just went to the craft room. He watched most of the movie. He just needed to know that there is an available place that he could go to. That's all he needed. Otro porfis. So with our coaching clients, what we've seen time to time again, that once they start speaking the language of needs and not and moving away from behavioral approaches, things start to get a lot easier. Children start to feel a lot calmer, and power struggles start to lessen and lessen. Lessen and lessen. How did you get him out of the house? Once he knew that his need was going to be met, he just got dressed. As simple as that. He just got dressed. So this is Kelly. She has 3 kids and she was flashing like she was into gentle parenting. Nothing was really working because all the things she was applying was a behavioralist approach. She was with us in coaching for about 6 months. She became an expert of her children's needs, especially her oldest daughter, who was having such a hard time accepting that now she was a big sister. And then she started enjoying the relationship with her daughter. And she says that now she feels that she's prepared when things feel like falling apart. This is Kelly, real quick. Por favor, Kelly.
I feel so much more confident in our parenting because I know that my kids feel connected to me and fully seen.
Imagine your children from now on feel fully seen. What would it do? What would that do for their emotional health? Imagine power struggles lessen 70% of more. What would that do for your morning? What would that do for your bedtime? What would that do for dinner time? Yeah, they will be so much more confident, secure, resulting in better behavior. Yeah, this could be you guys. With Kelly, we did it in 6 months. With other parents, we do it in less, depending on their needs. Otro porfis. Break the cycle and generational trauma, Jax. Linsneida, I can't imagine it. When you say I can't imagine, is that you can't, it doesn't fit your head. You can't wrap your head around thinking you could live life without power struggles? Or is it more like, oh yeah, that would be so great. I can't wait. It seems hard to achieve. You're not alone. I've heard that many times. And it's because, Liznei, when we've been in a reactive pattern, in a power struggle pattern for so long, it's hard for us to imagine ourselves out of it. It's very hard to imagine. Is the one-on-one assessment for those not in the program? Yes. Matter of fact, it's not for our clients because our clients, they're already in their process. So before we move forward, let me tell you what Alexandra is talking about. Do you see the QR code that you on the screen? Okay. So if you scan the QR code right now, and Federico, please place the link in the chat. This QR code will show you our calendar to book a free one-on-one assessment session with one of our advisors in HIC parenting. We have very few spots, like 3 this week and just a few next week. And this assessment session is for the parent, not for a client. I mean, if you're a client, just leave the opportunity for another parent. But this is for the parent who know that DIY parenting so far hasn't gotten you the results that you want to have in your family. If you've been learning a lot and you've seen some change, but you're still reverting back to reactive yelling, snapping, you're still or you don't know how to discipline your children without damage, and you're shutting down, you're giving in a lot, and you want to kickstart this process with the help of our team, this is the first step. So this is a free one-on-one assessment session where you're going to get clear about your particular needs, your particular dynamic, your particular reactive pattern, and we will give you our particular recommendation for your family. And we will show you how we would develop the skills we recommend with you in coaching. At the end, you will decide if you want to continue with us or not. If not, you will leave with a great assessment under your belt. If yes, we will enroll you as a coaching client. So to access this one-on-one session, just go right now before everything is taken. Usually by the end of these classes, everything is booked out. Scan the QR code on the screen at any point of this class, or go to the link in the chat. The first thing that you will see is a questionnaire. Answer it with intention and detail because we do study those questions. We do. We prepare a little game plan for you and prepare to show up. If you're not gonna show up, then don't book your call because we only have 3 this week and like 10 next week. I'm talking about available spots, okay? If you are married, bring your spouse. We assess the entire dynamic and he or she is part of it. Book it on a time and a date that you are not with the kids on you. Because this is the thing. I don't recommend it for you to be talking about your kids and the struggles you have with with them in front of them. I don't recommend that. So instead, book during nap time or after bedtime or in, I don't know, they're in summer break. Maybe line up help. We've had parents who did their assessment sessions in the car, literally, while the mother-in-law was in the house with their kids, and they were in the garage in the car. It's okay as long as you can give us your full attention because we will do the same. Do you do it in Spanish? We do have an advisor who speaks Spanish. But if you cannot speak English, it's not for you either. Why? Because if the eventually, if you want to move forward with us, coaching will be in English. Okay, so let's close this and let's continue with the with the class. I just wanted to bring it up now because Alexandra talked about it and then the QR code came up. Okay, so you already understand what's beneath behaviors. The U element, we already covered it, which is understanding needs. I told you my process, my 4-step process to uncover needs. I told you about an example, real life example. I show you what the 5 basic needs are, and I gave you an example with the 5 basic needs. Okay, so let's close that step number 1. Let's move with step number 2, which is S. But Marcela, I validate my children's feelings. Sometimes I even ask him, do you want a hug? And instead, he gets more upset and he throws things and he hits me. Say amen if that's you. And if that's you, let me react. I'm going to react. You're not alone. And I'm glad that you're here because that's the next step, which is the skill of emotional regulation. Vamos a la otra. Amen. Amen. The S element is settling big emotions down. Marcela, how does this correlate to correcting any behavior with this? If our children are all over the place, we cannot correct anything. We just need to settle them down first, right? Settling down big emotions. Let's go to this one. Let's go to this one. Otro porfis. Act of faith that this is a brain. The image that you see on the screen. This is a brain. So when our brain is triggered, we enter in fight or flight stress response. Our survival centers touch this part of your head right now. Touch this part of your head. Okay, right now you're touching your survival center. When you're triggered, when you're overwhelmed, when you're about to lose it, you're here. When your children are tantruming, melting down, they're here. Marcela, but I tried to offer a hug and he hits me. He's here. He's surviving. He's not responsive. When you are yelling, snapping, possibly spanking, you're here. You're not a bad parent. You are in your survival brain. That's it. So your children are reactive, they're not responsive. We need to get them to a brain state of responsiveness when they're reactive to get responsiveness out of them. What does that mean, Marcela? What does that mean? A lot of us, and me included, we try to calm our children down, speaking to their logic, speaking to their logical centers, which is the one up here on the forehead, like behind the forehead. When they're down here, when they are in their downstairs brain, according to Dr. Daniel Siegel, I have his book here. Let me see if I find a picture of the upstairs and the downstairs brain. Oh yeah. Guys, can you see? Maybe you cannot see. Let me give you a representation of what this is. So do this. Okay, put your thumb here and then your fingers like this. Okay. This is your prefrontal cortex and your children's prefrontal cortex. This is your logical centers. Over here, this is your brainstem and your amygdala, which is the survival centers. When they are tantruming, when they are in a meltdown, when they are triggered, they're here and their lid is flipped, all the way flipped. So they, do you want a hug? What happened? Why are you mad? You're speaking to this portion of their brain, but there is offline. They're here. That's why they're not responsive. So it's not that they don't calm down with you, it's that we're speaking to a different part of the brain. Yeah, the book is The Whole Brain Child. Otro porfis. Yeah, you can listen to audio. This is you can. The first time that I listened to it was in audiobook. It's a good book. When your child is in survival, they respond to your level of nervous system regulation and not to the logic of your words and scripts. So, children, your Tommy, your Sophie, your Ethan can differentiate between a dysregulated you who is sounding calm but is not secure. Sounding calm, speaking calmly, and feeling secure are different because you can still sound calm, but you can be dysregulated and triggered. And they will connect to that through a process called mirror neurons. Let me type it in the chat. Mirror, like a mirror. Mirror, mirror. Espejo, mirror. Mirror neurons. Let's do an exercise of mirror neurons. Look at me, everybody, look at me. Imagine that I have in my hands a big, juicy lemon. And I'm cutting open that big, juicy lemon. And as I cut it open, it's dripping lemon juice. And that lemon juice is dripping to my mouth. And I say, and it's savory and it's acid and it's, Question. Raise your hand if you started salivating just with that description. Did you start salivating? That's because there is something called mirror neurons. What is mirror neurons? We connect to an experience that we already had before. So, what happens? How does this translate to parenting? You could be The parent could be talking gently. The parent could be talking calmly. The parent could actually be in a level of regulation. But if at some point the child knows that it's been a consistent pattern that at some point the parent is gonna yell, their mirror neurons that connects to that experience and to the level of nervous system regulation of the parent is what they're going to be receptive to, not so much to what we say. It's the same sucking lemon effect. It's like when you're young and the whole train, the whole wagon in the train starts yawning, or when somebody's laughing and you start laughing, those are mirror neurons. That happens with pleasant experiences, mundane, everyday experiences like sucking lemon, and it happens with emotional regulation as well. Otro porfis. I think I already did this. Yeah, they will connect to emotional regulation. And this is a biggie, biggie, biggie. Here, pay attention to this. Emotional regulation is not trying to not get angry. Emotional regulation is not just trying to calm down when we're triggered. Emotional regulation is a continual practice throughout your day to keep your body within your window of tolerance. Emotional regulation is not trying to get angry, is knowing how to welcome any emotion and being able to live it in safety. I told my coaching clients last week, helping our children regulate their emotions is not trying to calm them down. It's helping them feel frustrated and angry, upset, whatever emotion they're feeling in safety. But because we come with this mentality that some feelings are good and the other ones are bad, feeling anger is bad, so we need to shut it down as soon as possible, get rid of it, stop that anger, get you happy. That puts us into more of anxiety because now is we feel out of control because that's the uncontrollable. So when our children don't calm down, we blame ourselves. With our coaching clients, we develop the skills of emotional regulation by helping them understand the nuances of their emotions and their kids' emotions and how to live those emotions in safety. Otro porfis. Better yet, emotional regulation is the skill of understanding early signs of dysregulation so we can give our nervous system what we need to settle down early enough to prevent getting to the point of explosion, which is the point of no return. Marcela, what do I do when my child are melting down? How do you address meltdowns? The best way to address a meltdown is to prevent it by understanding early signs of dysregulation and address it early. And not just that just goes for our kids and it goes for us. We have clients who say, yeah, Kelly, we're going there. We're going there. I'm gonna even give you a Leo tool that could help you. What was I saying? ADHD. What was I saying? Yeah, is this yes, so is helping ourselves a lot earlier. We end up reacting to our kids is because all day we ride in autopilot without understanding our body temperature. So we are walking in borderline red all day, and then when our kids do anything, we explode. So to Kelly, but how? I'm going to show you one tool that you can start using today. Okay, among many other things that I mean, guys, emotional regulation is like 4 weeks of coaching, so it's hard to fit it all in this class. But let me give you one tool that you can start using today. It's called the emotional thermometer. Where do I have that thermometer? But anyway, it's the thermometer that you see here on the left. My invitation is that don't wait until you are borderline red to start taking deep breaths or to take care of your or taking breaks. Throughout your day, check with your emotional thermometer. Just for the following week, check with your emotional thermometer where you are at throughout the day. When you wake up, after you eat breakfast, in the mid afternoon, in the late afternoon, at night. And you're going to start recognizing patterns. You might start recognizing that, hey, shoot, most of the day I ran on orange. Hey, shoot, most of the day I ran in yellow. Or no, most of the day I'm in red. I mean, survive. So when you start recognizing patterns, you start to recognize what's, what's the hardest part for you, and you're going to start gaining body awareness. Okay, if in the morning I'm green and then in the midday I go to yellow and then in the late afternoon I go to orange and by night I'm at red, instead of waiting for the night to explode, I'm going to take care of myself with different coping strategies. With our coaching clients, we explore their own calming sensory tools, which it depends on their sensory needs. I don't know which sensory needs you have. But if you're a sensory seeker, look for sensory seeking stimulation things that you can do. If you're a sensory avoider, look for sensory avoiding things that you can do. I'm a sensory seeker, so I need to do weights. I need to do something. So throughout the day, so you don't get to read so fast and so often. When you are able to give yourself what your body needs early, it will help you. But body awareness requires a skill. And that's why we work with our coaching clients to keep them accountable with this is just one of the tools. This is just matter of fact is the first thing that they do when they enter coaching before they even get to session 1. I just wanted to give you a little bit so you can start working on this skill of emotional regulation. This class is mostly to let you know what emotional regulation is and what it is not. Because what it is not is what's causing you to react, thinking that emotional regulation is calming yourself down and getting your children to calm down right now. That's not what it is. Okay, guys? Let's move on. For example, Chelsea. She has 2 kids, under 5. Everything was a struggle. And once she learned mind size skills to understand her children's needs and emotional regulation skills to take care of her nervous system and her children's nervous system early, this is what she said. And once she learned the other skill that I'm going to show you in a little bit. Otro porfis.
My kids, it was always the fights and the power struggles and the yelling with the information that I was getting, and I was utilizing it in myself and my parenting. The power struggles were going away. The yelling was going away. The family dynamic was just a lot easier.
That was Chelsea. She was with us 14 weeks. She ended 5 years of power struggles in 14 weeks. You don't have to wait 2 or 3 years or like, let me just get out of this toddler phase. You could have a thriving toddler phase. You could have, a matter of fact, if you're just waiting for the toddler phase to phase out, you're going to enter the preschooler phase where they're telling you what to do, what not to do. They're bossy. And then you get out of toddler, and then you cannot wait for toddlerhood phase to enter the other phase. And then now you're in school age phase that they are more crafty. Now they are justifying their behavior, blaming the dog, blaming the cat, not taking responsibility. And then you're like, no, maybe when they get to teenagers, they will be more responsible. And they're in teenage years and now they're rebellious. So that's not the way to go, just waiting for things to happen. If you want change, you need to take a step forward. Staying where you are is going to get you where you are, regardless of the developmental stage. I say it because my oldest one is an adult now. I've been through all the developmental stages myself, all of them. One question before we move with the last step of this process, which is the discipline aspect. Now we understand needs. We cover emotional regulation, but how do I correct the behavior? That's the next one. But before we go there, I have this question for you guys. If nothing changes in your parenting, if you keep parenting how you're parenting until now, what could happen 2 years from now? If nothing changes, if you keep doing what you're doing, social media advice, the scripts, maybe reading a book or two, dabbling in your parenting development, basically, what could happen? I could lose valuable connection with my child. Thank you, Laura. I'm going to give you love. Thank you for your honesty. Lisneida, the disconnect will grow wider. Giselle, no, Stephanie, no relationship. Jasmine, they pull away and follow their peers' advice more than yours. Kelly, continue with struggling. CT, I will pass my trauma. Hmm. Is that what you're the most scared about? So many parents who enroll in HIC parenting, they come and tell us that. I just don't want to end up like, I don't want my kids to have the same relationship I have with my mom. I don't want to become my mom. I don't want to become my dad. Is that you? Exactly. Repeating the same cycle. Giselle, I don't want to be my parents. 1,000%. Well, that's more than 1,000. That's like a million. Mm. I'm gonna give all of you love again. What is costing you? Stay where you are. What is costing you? Peace, healing, sanity, growth. Wow, that's a high price to pay. Whether you stay where you are or you decide to move forward, there is always a price. And yes, it takes a lot of commitment and how one of our coaching clients says a lot of work, but would the cost of gaining these skills and integrating them in your family outweigh the cost of not getting them? My peace, my sanity, healthy relationship. Let me go to the next step. I just wanted to stop here for a second to do these reflection moments with you guys. Otro porfis. So let's move on to the last step, which is the last skill we develop in our coaching clients. Again, I want to remind you, I think someone asked again, Giselle, what is the book called? Okay, so if you came in late, for the ones who came in late, there is a QR code on the screen, and then there is a link that my team is placing in the chat. It's basically for you to book a one-on-one assessment session with one of our advisors in HIC parenting. And on this session, you will get clear on your particular dynamic. We'll give you our particular recommendation, and we will tell you the skills that we will develop in you and how we will develop them in a coaching process. And you will decide if you want to continue with that with us or not in coaching. And this is a free session. So scan the QR code or the link is on the in the chat. I don't know if there are still spots available. Federico, are there spots available?
Yes.
Okay, how
Just
many? Just check and come back.
8.
Mhm. 8. Oh
Yeah.
wow, only 8 spots. Okay, guys. So try to if this is calling your name, like just save your slot right now before everything is taken. Okay, the skill of educate of positive discipline. This is skill number 3. So far we have 2, which is the skill of mindsight, understanding needs. The skill of emotional regulation is not calming down, is knowing how to live all emotions and gaining body awareness so we can take care of ourselves early and we can take care of our children early. Our children go through different stages of dysregulation. There are 4 behavior levels, by the way. So you can catch it early and help them early instead of just addressing aggression all the time. That's number 2. And number 3 is the skill of positive discipline. Positive discipline, let's talk about this. Otro porfis. What is the difference between the positive discipline that Marcela is talking about and just looking for a consequence or taking a toy away or doing a bribe, basically putting out fires? Let's talk about this difference, and then I will show you what positive discipline is with an example. Otro porfis. Putting out fires. So why did I call it that way? Because putting out a fire looks like stopping a behavior for the moment and the behavior reappearing 10 minutes later, and not just reappearing, getting back worse, getting worse. Number one, yelling or harsh tone. Give yourself a lot of empathy here, because if you are here, I know you don't want to yell. I know you don't want to use harsh tone. I know, because you guys are my people. You guys are my followers. I know you guys. You guys are awesome parents. Take this as, I'm gonna show this to my husband who believes it's okay to yell at my kid. So what happens with yelling? Let's go to the next one. Otro. Children create the belief that yelling is the way they can be heard. So they might not yell at you, but they might yell a lot to each other. Matter of fact, there are studies that show that the relationship children have with each other is a reflection of the relationship they have with their parent. So if they're snappy and if they're snatching toys a lot, at some degree, they might be reflecting. Now, let me pause on here. Every child has a specific set of needs. My autistic son sometimes hits his brother just because he's sensory overwhelmed, not because I hit him, you know? But when it comes to the overall relationship between kids, studies show that in a lot of ways it reflects the relationship they have with their parents. So if with their parents they have a power control relationship of yelling and snapping, they will replicate it. They will. Otro porfis. Putting out fires looks like bribes or rewards. This one might be, if this is like what, I don't get it, like what moment, just type it in the chat if you are kind of puzzled about me putting this here. Just say it, puzzle. Let me explain it to you. Bribes and rewards are the same coin of, are two parts of the same coin. I hope I have a coin here. Give I like to give example. So let's just act of faith. This is a coin. So this phase is punishment. I behave good because if I don't, I fear feeling pain without punishment. And the other side of this coin is bribes and rewards, which is the same coin called fear. If I don't behave good, I fear not getting the reward. I fear not getting the bribe. So the coin is called fear. I fear getting it, I fear not getting it. Bottom line, the motivation is fear. This says children up for failure, especially neurodivergent ones. When you put a reward chart on the wall and they have to compete and compare themselves with their neurotypical siblings who can follow all the instructions to the T and they can't, they're going to start feeling like a failure and sabotaging themselves and just feel that they have nothing to lose because they cannot win, and their behaviors get worse. The behaviors are the behaviors of a person who believes they don't have anything to lose. Does that make sense? Okay. Giselle, say yes. Okay. Otro porfis. If this was an aha moment, say aha moment. If not, if you're like, I knew this, say I knew this. Otro porfis. Oh, you knew this, Giselle? Okay, great. So putting out fires is focused on extinguishing or eliminating a current behavior that pops up later. Positive discipline is focused on teaching skills, on developing skills. So if I were to give you a parallel, did I say it right? Sometimes I'm like, Marcela, are you making up pronunciations? Because sometimes I do. Possibly I made it up, but you guys get me. So the comparison is if the punishment or the discipline, which is a punishment, is focused on the past, because you did this, now you're not going to have TV time. If everything is focused on making the child pay for something they did for the past, is a punishment. Whatever thing it is. I don't care if it's spanking or if it is removing a toy or whatever. If it is focus, if the focus is the future, is discipline, positive discipline. What does that mean? Oh, he was struggling. For example, these two girls, they are struggling to play cooperatively, obviously, from the picture. So positive discipline say, what is the skill I need to develop so in the future they can play cooperatively? That's the difference between punishment and positive discipline. If you're like Marcela example, say, if you're like, I'm clear, say, I'm clear. Example. Okay, let me give you another one. Guys, are you getting value out of this free class? Okay, cool. I just hate going to free classes that they tell you they're going to teach you things and they don't teach you anything. That's not me. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh, yeah, yes, otro porfis. So let me give you an example of positive discipline. The example of positive discipline. Positive discipline. It was yesterday, actually. It was yesterday. So it was piano lesson, and my autistic son was having a midday meltdown. Sometimes he has midday meltdowns because of the sensory overwhelm, etc. I do things to prevent it, but his sensory needs are so high that sometimes he just need that release. So he was in his release, I would say in his meltdown, when the piano teacher showed up. What about if I would have told him, okay, straight up, your piano teacher is here? What would have happened? He would have sabotaged piano lesson, right? So instead, I'm like, okay, Marcela, what is the skill that he needs in order to be successful? Number one, hello. Can you hear me, guys? Okay, cool. Number one, let's go through the entire use process. You uncovering the need. What's the need there? Sensory overwhelm, going to piano, bad recipe, right? If he's already sensory overwhelmed. So let's reduce sensory overwhelm. We took him to a different room. S, settling him down. We did regulatory play. I think I posted that on the stories. Yes. Don't go to the stories, but it's on the stories right now. I posted on the stories. We did Legos. We did some regulatory play while the teacher was waiting in the living room. I prefer 30 minutes of good 30 minutes than a whole hour of mess. And then I moved to the E, which is educating them on what? On replacement skills. What is a replacement skill? It's a skill that looks to meet the same need the quote unquote misbehavior is trying to meet. Okay. So what was the need there? The need for him it was to feel safe and to not feel so sensory triggered and overwhelmed, right? So what did I do? I helped him a little bit. I told the teacher what we were what was happening, and I said, can you give him more breaks? And maybe if he can do the piano lesson with his headphones, with his noise reduction headphones. He did a bunch of breaks. He's a great teacher. He did a bunch of breaks. He even did soccer breaks. We offered the alternative of wearing the noise canceling, noise reduction. He didn't want to. I think he was okay. And the piano lesson was 30 minutes, but it was a good 30 minutes. That's discipline. Marcela, what? I thought discipline was the consequence. No, discipline is equipping our children with the skills to do better, right? Did he do better? Of course, he did better. He did better than he would have been if I didn't do all that. It would have been a mess if I didn't do all that. Does need to be banner. What's that? Okay, write it down. Discipline is not shutting down behavior. Write it down. Discipline is helping our children do better. Okay? And with our coaching clients, we help them assess the skills their children need so they can do better. With these little girls fighting, maybe they don't know the skill of conflict resolution. Maybe they don't know the skill of sharing. Maybe they don't know the skill of communicating to each other their boundaries. That's why they're fighting over the same doll. Discipline is developing skills. Is not making children suffer for not having skills. Okay, secure parents, let's move forward. Otro, Federico. No se me duerma. Federico is not a parent, so he might be like, ah. Okay, Federico. So, no, stay there. No te muevas. Let's go back to the title of this class. When you saw the reel and you're like, oh, I want to know how to correct any behavior with ease. There you have it. Become really skillful at understanding the need, settling your children down with emotional regulation skills, and educating them. Get really good at mind size skills, emotional regulation skills, and positive discipline skills. I have a question for you guys. Do you believe that if you integrate these skills in your family, you can stop reacting to behaviors and yelling and snapping, and your children can grow up as secure children moving forward? Yes, yes, yes. I think the settle is the hard part. We can help you with that, Jax. Yes. Very few yeses. The rest of you is a no? Or if it is a maybe or if it's a no, just say it. I really want to understand where you guys are at. Yes. Otro porfis. So this is the reality, guys. You guys have two paths. Because I would be lying to you if I say the spanking, yelling, snapping, and timeouts don't stop behavior. They do. They do stop behavior. I got a spanking. I got many spankings growing up, and I was the most agreeable, people pleasing, mature for my age child that you could ever seen. Being autistic ADHD. So they do create obedient, good kids, but at what cost? The other route is to learn the three skills to be secure parents. And in this class, I gave them to you. This is the information. Otra porfis. But information without application profits nothing. We need to put this information into motion. We need to bring it alive in our parenting, otherwise, it would not work. For me, because I have a very special family, ADHD, autistic mom, autistic kids. My oldest son came to us from foster care. I mean, it cannot be more nuanced than that. Just the information alone, when I learned the information, I was still struggling to apply it. What helped me was parenting coaching. That was the game changer for me. Imagine this class as if you just read a really great book on parenting with understanding. You got the info. But parenting coaching is actually working with the professional to help you on the application. It's kind of the difference between reading a book on a diet versus working directly with your nutritionist that understands your lifestyle, your allergies, your eating habits, your relationship with food, everything. That's what parenting coaches do. And it was a game changer for me, and it was otro. And it's been a game changer for 14,151 families. Sona, single parent coming out of an abusive relationship. Ariel with 5 kids. Megan and Anthony, who were just getting together after a breakup and they were trying to figure out co parenting. Kenny living with family members with Chinese mother-in-law, father-in-law who didn't understand gentle parenting. Cynthia, who had a toddler who was hitting the baby every single day. Amanda, who was pregnant and about to have the second child, and the first one was not going to sleep anytime soon. Victoria, whose child was kicked out of preschools because nobody understood his neurodivergence. Miranda, who was spanking her kids while her husband was deployed and she was running on fumes every single day. These parents and many more changed the trajectory of their families once they access parenting coaching in HIC parenting. They came to this class and they decided to access us to help them on the integration of these processes. Otro porfis. I want to show you Eric for a second. Otro porfis. So information is just that. If we don't put it into practice in our family, it would not profit. If you are tired of not seeing results and backtracking after a few days of applying the information on your own, this is not your fault. The reality, guys, is that it's pretty hard to succeed at something without having hands on guidance and a step by step, clear, customized process. That's what parenting coaching is. We take this framework, which is a general framework, and we customize it for you guys. And we help you every single week on the application. You hire a team, so you will have me, you will have all the other coaches at your disposition. Otro porfis. So the first step towards this change is to book your free one-on-one. Your free one-on-one session. Scan the QR code. Fede, ¿todavía tenemos espacio? Do we still have space?
Yes.
How many?
8.
Oh, we still have the 8 guys. You guys were waiting for me to finish the class, or what was the deal? I want to know if this class is worth it. So this is the end of the class, guys. We only have 8 spots. We only want to work with parents who are responsible of their own parenting. If you're blaming your kid and if you're thinking that your kid is just so disrespectful and looking for ways to fix them, we are not the people to help you. We are professionals to help you if you want to work on your own parenting. to stop reactivity, to learn and integrate these three skills: mindset, emotional regulation, and positive discipline, so you can in return raise secure children with peace. If at the end of the session you decide that, hey, I think I'm good, I don't need you guys, you can walk out of the session with a great assessment under your belt. And if you want to continue with us, you can, and we will enroll you as a coaching client. So you don't have to enroll to have this session. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay? So book this call. We only have 8 spots. The link is on the screen. If you have reservations, if you're not sure if this is for you, you're kind of like kind of halfway there, halfway here, I want to answer your question. What's keeping you from taking the next step? Fede, si pueden unmute. If you can unmute, that would be great. If not, if you please type it in the chat.
Ya pueden desmutearse.
Oh, you booked, Kelly? Yes, that's awesome. Stephanie, you booked? Okay. The times are conflicting. Okay, Laura, did you see all the availability that we have? So if the times are conflicting, Laura, give me do this. You see Federico. Federico, raise your hand. So send Federico right now a DM message here in the chat with your name, email, phone number, and one of our advisors will contact you to put you on a better time. Stephanie, you booked? That's great. Jax, you booked? That's awesome. Giselle, you booked? That's awesome. That's great. If you have not booked yet, what's holding you back? Is there any question that you may have about it? Not knowing the financial commitment it would take. It depends. Like if you call to the dentist, hey, I have a toothache. How much is it? How much is it? I don't know. Let's come here. Let me see your mouth. Let's see how much you need. So it depends on your needs, on the time it will take us, and the level of support as well. Does my husband have to attend to the first session? That would be great, Laura. So we can assess the entire dynamic because he parents the kids, right? Yeah. So Jasmine, when it comes to pricing, I don't know if we can help you yet. Maybe you don't need coaching. We don't know. On the assessment, we will know. So go to the session, find out how much it is for you, and then you'll decide from there. What about that? Okay, I want to show you the story of Eric. Go to the left. Go. So Eric, guys, special needs family, 3 girls, special needs, his special needs as well. And then it was so bad that he was considering divorce just because of the parenting was crazy. This is Eric after working. Lauren, could you please mute yourself? Marilu también. Gracias, amor. It's okay. So this is Eric after working with us for a few weeks in HIC parenting. Pongan a Eric Federico.
Here for us to like, see where Helen's going with her behaviors because we've experienced it before, and now we've got tools to understand what's happening and how to intercede the right way so we don't end up with like a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old or 7-year-old that we can't manage because we didn't know what to do when she was 3. So I think I feel more confident that we're going to have an easier time with Helen as she goes through this stage of her development.
I'm very curious about something. How do you think your life would be if you didn't have parenting coaching at all?
I don't know, homeless, divorced. Yeah. You know, who knows? I don't want to think about how another year of further misery would have been for us.
Wow.
And there is reason to hope, and there is progress that's identifiable.
A special needs family all together. He special needs, wife special needs, three special needs kids who went from reactive to peaceful by integrating what you learned today. And he did it with our help in coaching. Would it be worth it at least give it a try? Give it a try with the one on one assessment, see how it goes, and you decide from there. That's it. Okay, guys. I would love my husband to watch this before our assessment call. This will be available. Yes, you will get an email with your replay. Yeah, guys. Can I get this presentation? Yes, you will get the replay. Yes. And by the way, the replay will be available in our YouTube channel as well. Thank you so much. You're welcome. We will have the replay just for a few hours on the YouTube channel if you want to show your husband this today. Okay, so let's go. Remember the gift I told you I was going to give you? Okay, guys. You don't have to do anything else to claim this gift. I told you all you needed to do is to stay with us to the end. And this is how to claim it. Take a screenshot so you save these instructions. Number one, email info@hicparenting.com. Number two, give us a positive review about this class. So this is why I'm not looking for, hey, Marcela, the class was great. Where is my gift? No, just, I mean, let us know how this class could help you moving forward in your parenting. And number three, we will reply back with info on how to access your coping strategies guide. This free gift, I mean, if it's a gift, it's free. Well, this gift expires today. So make sure that at some point today you do these steps. Email, give us your positive review, and we will reply back with your coping strategies guide. Okay. Did you guys write down the instructions? Am I good with this? Okay, screenshot. Okay, cool. Laura would like to book. Okay, I'm trying to register. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. If you guys are trying to book the free one-on-one assessment, how do we do this? Just take a screenshot of this. For the ones who are in the program, I think he's in the program. I'm not sure. Like refresh your members area, and if he's not there, just email, and we will give it to you, Alexandra. If we're unable to book with the times above, can we try booking in the future? Anna, do you see Federico? Federico, raise your hand. So DM Federico right now, your name, email, phone number, and we will contact you. One of our advisors will contact you to coordinate. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the main room so I can dismiss you guys. Can you guys open for a little second the videos so I know who's here? Vanessa. Vanessa is picking up her kids. Stephanie is working. Amani is at home. Angie, where are you at? Hi, Leticia's with a precious baby. Yes. I want to thank you for being with me here today. I want to say something to all of you beautiful faces. You guys are good parents. You guys are committed parents. You know how many followers we have? And you guys were the ones who say, hey, I'm going to be on a Tuesday with Marcela. learning how to be a better parent. That speaks volumes about who you are and about your priorities. So let's give everybody love. Everybody love. Let's give love to each other. Thank you for being here. I hope that this class served you moving forward, whether you become a coaching client or not. My intention with this class is that you were going to get value and you were going to get something that you could start applying right now in your parenting. You're in your car, you're parked. Okay, Kelly. Jasmine, great to see you. Love your hair. Okay, but okay, guys, I need to go back with my twins. They're in summer break. They're getting handsy when they don't see you for a little bit. They start getting kind of going downtown. So I need to go back to being a parent. Thank you so much for allowing me to pour into your parenting. I love you guys. And I hope to see you in our next free class. Bring your friends. Bring your enemies. They need to learn how to be secure parents. Bye, everybody.